Gavin, what's up, dude? You're first, indeed, you are. Not much, buddy. Just relaxing. You know how it goes. Hey, relax. Just relaxing, shooting the shit.
Let's just start with when's the last time that you actually talked to Erin?
Why does that matter?
When's the last time you talked to her?
Why does that matter? No, I'm asking.
I just gotta go blow my nose, boys. Just give me a second. What's up, Sean?
Why does that matter?
This is Brent Williams and his wife, Erin Mulcahy. To say their marriage is on the rocks would be something of an understatement.
I didn't want to be with Brent because he started to hit me and I don't want to be hit anymore.
When did he hit you last?
I'm afraid to tell you.
Only months
Chick
after
sounds
this
tired,
encounter
drunk or
with law
something.
enforcement, the marriage of Brent Williams and Erin Mulcahy would come to a tragic end. Erin had been found dead. At first, it looked like a terrible accident, but as the investigation delved deeper, the cops realized their sleepy village of Waynesville, Ohio, was about to experience its first homicide in almost 60 years.
60 years is crazy.
The investigation began on July 7th with a horrifying discovery.
Give me back.
What's going on?
Pretty sure she's been in there for 2 days, probably.
Okay. In this apartment here?
Yeah.
Erin
In the
Mulcahy?
shower, yeah.
Okay.
Brent and his dad was here the other day.
Okay, but they
Part of
haven't
the evening, and she was in the shower then.
Okay,
I
yeah.
heard the water running, and I looked
I
underneath
see.
the floor, and water was running out.
Running out. And so she's in here?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. Rigor mortis has already set in. Okay, I'll have you guys step out here because I'm gonna have to get some pictures and things like that. So she's in the shower. Rigor's set in. Last time anybody saw her was a few days ago. Still getting some additional information on all that. Brent was here, her ex-boyfriend or whatever was here a couple days ago. And
What's your footprint number?
no, that might be one of the guys coming from one of the landlords. They were coming in and redoing the apartment next door. They heard water
Just
running.
give me a cup
When
out of the
Brent was
way.
here supposedly the other day, he said that he heard water running, but they said there was water all the way. It was flooded all the way out here. So,
We're not even going to perch because
right, right, yeah, exactly. So,
we'll preserve the scene for you. And
okay, all right. Well, I appreciate that. I'm gonna-
footprints too. So my footprints
Right.
there.
Yeah, your footprints right here. I'm going to talk to these guys and make sure they came in and shut the water off, but they're the ones that found her, so I would presume that.
Erin's neighbors had become concerned for her welfare, as they'd heard water constantly running from
Oops,
inside
I'm
her
trying to
apartment.
get this fucking
It
rat
could be
to
nothing
chase
to
and
worry
burn me.
about, but Erin's neighbors decided to call her landlord to voice their concerns. Erin's landlord called Brent to try and get permission to enter the house, but he didn't answer the phone, so her landlord called Brent's father instead, who arrived a short time later to help. But instead of finding a problem with the plumbing, they found Erin's body slumped in the shower, and the worst part, she'd been there for several days. It would be easy to assume Aaron was the victim of nothing more than an accident, as there appeared to be no injuries, stab wounds, and no sign of a suspicious death. The officer knew Aaron had been having problems with alcohol addiction, but he also knew her marriage to Brent was not a happy one, and there could be more to this case than first appeared.
Yeah,
All right, John, let's take that toke. My thing's heated up.
No, I do know what that is. That's a nose hair.
Oh, okay. History of alcohol, alcoholism, and things like
Usually
that.
we
So.
come in that.
But I've got to investigate this as something beyond that because there has been domestic history and things like that. So, all right. Howdy.
To try and get a better picture, the officer spoke to Brent's father, who revealed Aaron and Brent's marriage was on the verge of breaking down completely.
Let's just start, I guess, from the beginning. When was the last, prior to today, when was the last time you were actually in this apartment?
Thursday.
Thursday. And was anyone with you when you went in?
Brent and I went in there.
Okay. And what happened on Thursday?
Brent needed to get his checks, extra checks,
Mhm.
out of there because he didn't know what Aaron was going to do.
Okay.
And he wanted me to come along because we're witness.
Sure. Makes sense.
Go in.
Yeah.
We hear the shower running.
Mhm.
We think she's in the shower. He gets his checks.
Mhm.
We leave.
Okay.
We come out here. We run into Gina standing right out here.
Mhm.
And we said that we told him exactly what we done. We went in to get them checks and stuff. And he said, oh, he said, I talked to Aaron the other day.
Who was this?
What?
You were talking to?
The guy that owns the place.
Oh, yeah.
Two,
Okay.
please.
I gotcha.
He said Thursday, late afternoon, early evening, he said, I talked to her yesterday, told her to get out. And that's about all that was said.
Okay.
He went his way.
Mhm.
We did too. Earlier today, Brent went up and got some mail. And he said it had Aaron's name on it. And he didn't want to bring it out here because he was afraid of trouble.
Sure.
Holy
Argument.
crap.
Sure. Yeah.
So I said, well, just leave it there. I'll take it out.
Mhm.
We're on our way up here.
Sure.
And he calls me
Okay.
and said that he had to get in there.
Okay.
He told me about the water running, so
Uh-huh.
he shut it on.
Okay. Before you guys made entry, he shut the water off? Okay.
So when I go in there, the door, the bathroom door's closed. I beat him. I open it up, and I thought I seen her laying on the floor there through the glass door.
Okay.
And then Jim called, you guys.
Did you actually walk into the bathroom?
I did.
You did? Okay. Okay. How long had they been split up, do you know, roughly?
What is today, Saturday?
Today's Saturday, yeah.
Monday, yeah, of last week. I don't know for sure.
Okay, so it's just been recent?
Very
recent? Okay.
Brent's father also revealed he and Brent visited the house 2 days earlier, and even though they heard the shower running, they didn't physically see Aaron, so they couldn't confirm if she was alive at the time. Aaron's father had his own theories about what had happened, as he'd been dealing with her alcohol addiction and mental health problems for years. In fact, it came almost as no surprise that she had passed away at an early age.
Becomes father.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
I've known him for years from church.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
And, he was telling me that Aaron has had kind of struggled with alcohol.
Yes.
Some seizures.
Right.
Stuff like that. Is there?
She was bipolar too?
Bipolar.
Schizophrenic?
Yeah.
I remember her telling me that. As you know, I've been here
I know
many
they've had
times.
issues
We've
going
sure,
on and
it's
on.
been
Yeah,
it's
I
been
know,
back and
it's an
forth.
ongoing
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been here. I told them, wait, when you guys get your act together, then
Sure.
we'll start acting like a regular family.
Sure.
Fussing and fighting, I'm not getting involved.
Right.
Because there was one get me in the middle of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
But Aaron's father also had a crucial piece of information that would help the cops trace Aaron's last movements and try and solve the mystery of her death.
And I know she'd had seizures on and off, but I didn't know that they were, how bad they were lately. I mean,
Sure.
she'd been having something lately. I just talked to her 2 days ago.
You did?
Yeah.
On the phone?
On the
Okay.
phone, so.
Do you have date and time? A date we
I
can.
could look at my phone.
Okay.
phone, yeah.
Okay. If we could get that, that'd be great.
Okay.
We're just trying to paint a picture as to how we got to where we're at right now. So.
Right. I understand.
It's
Sand Crab
entirely
Central,
possible that Erin
baby.
hadn't been taking her medication and had suffered a
We'll
seizure
get her
while taking
strength
a
up to
shower,
70, attack up
resulting
to
in her
70,
untimely
and her
death.
defense up to
If
70.
Erin's father had spoken to her on the phone in
And
the
then we
last
will
couple of
progress.
days, then finding out what time he made that call could help piece together this puzzle and determine a time of death.
Hey, Brent. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right.
But luckily, Brent arrived on the scene and was more than happy to help the cops with their inquiries.
At this point in time, everything's, fine, and we're just here to talk and try to get this figured out, okay?
Yes.
So that's why we're here.
Well, let's just start with when's the last time that you actually talked to Erin?
Sunday.
Sunday?
I moved out Sunday.
You moved out on Sunday? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it kind of a heated argument or
Nope.
just
Nope.
she just said get your stuff and
Nope,
go?
I
And
did.
you just
My dad came with me.
okay.
Got my clothes. Pulled out.
Okay.
Went to stayed that night.
Okay. All right. And did she say anything to you when you left or nothing at all?
No, I just said I was very quiet about it. My dad was with me. He'll vouch that I got my clothes, didn't say a word to her,
Sure.
and got out.
Okay.
There's nothing to suggest either Brent or his father are hiding anything or withholding information. Brent seemed adamant that he entered and left the house as quickly as he could and didn't interact with Erin, other than by text message. But out of nowhere, Brent's father throws up a major red flag that's impossible to miss.
Did you guys have any conversation
Nope.
after that? You hadn't talked to her at all since Sunday?
Text her. Yeah, you
Okay.
can only read the text. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
really don't bother me.
Okay.
Remember, Brent, I said don't volunteer. Answer questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
This could just be a case of an
Yo, that's like
overly
that's crazy work.
cautious.
How do you say that in
parent,
front of
as
the
Brent
fucking
himself seemed to have no
in front of the
problem
police like that?
cooperating
That's
with the
crazy,
cops,
bro.
agreeing to pretty much anything the officer asked of him.
One other thing that I would
That's
like
crazy.
to do, and here again, this is just to eliminate you from any wrongdoing, is I was wondering if you would be willing to give a voluntary DNA sample.
For my
swab,
mouth,
yeah,
let's do it.
swab,
I'm
yeah.
willing to do that.
Yeah, okay, all right, perfectly. That's absolutely perfect.
Perfectly.
So I got a consent form here. I'll fill that out, and then I'll have you sign it, and then we'll just get a swab from your cheeks, and it'll be done. It's pretty simple. It's pretty,
Okay.
if that's okay with
Sounds
you.
like a plan.
But when it came to giving up his cell phone, Brent suddenly seemed reluctant to cooperate.
So are you saying that you really don't want to give up your phone at this time then?
Well, I don't want to give my phone. I have no reason to give up my
It's
phone.
our
I've
app.
seen all the information I have on my phone.
Okay.
I might close my door there?
He gets calls. I might need calls from my parents.
All
I
right,
mean,
fair
very
enough.
cool. He's okay with
Oh,
that.
boy.
Yeah, I mean that's why we asked. I mean,
Okay.
it's, you know,
I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
I just don't want to give it up.
Do you mind if I get pictures of those text messages?
Brent's behavior aroused suspicion with the cops. It could be possible that there's something on the phone he didn't want
my
the
God, they
cops
hit me
to see,
twice?
but if there was,
Blasphemous.
they'd have to wait to find it. So to try and understand Erin and Brent's relationship more, Waynestown police reviewed body cam footage of one of the many times they'd been called to the residence. And just like this example from months earlier, the arguments usually started because of Erin's drinking.
all right,
Hi, how are you?
what's going on?
She left?
Um,
She left? I didn't know what the situation was when she came back. I don't want to go to jail. She put me in jail once. And there she is intoxicated.
She brought you to jail?
Okay. You think you're drunk?
I have drank
Okay. Yeah, I can tell. When did you start today?
earlier today. I don't know exactly.
You on any probation right now?
No.
Are you on any medication?
I take
Oh.
trazodone for sleep.
You taking it today?
No.
I tell you, I'm going to fix this issue. I'm going to my mom's.
Okay.
I'm going to get out of here. That's why I called.
No, yeah, and that's the right thing to do. You live here, right?
We both do. We're married. So I'm allowed to live here. And he is, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if my dad pays my rent.
Yeah. There hasn't been any other than verbal argument. That's all.
Been an argument at all.
No,
hasn't even been an argument. Okay.
We
That's why
argue.
you're here. That's why
Okay.
you're here before something happens.
Okay. Well, I can't
I understand.
I can't stay here all night
I understand.
and wait until. So what's the plan then?
I'm going to get my stuff. And I'm going out.
Okay. Are you doing that now or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I can stand by while you do that.
Can you do me a favor? Though?
What's it?
I know you're a busy guy and everything, but can you drive by here once in a while? Because last time I was up, there was a guy here,
Okay.
and I'm worried about my
Who
stuff.
cares?
And I'm worried about my stuff.
Okay.
If you and I are not being together ever again, leave me the hell alone.
Have you filed for divorce yet?
Yeah, I went to
This chick's
Despite Aaron's
gonzo.
threats, the couple were indeed together and separated again several times over the next few months. With nothing to go off, no forensics, and no solid lead in the case, the cops had no choice but to try and convince Brent to give up his phone in the hope that it cleared him of any wrongdoing, or gave them anything to go off. This encounter did not go as smoothly as planned.
Man,
Hello.
How you doing?
oh, it's been horrible. I'm gonna get a robe on. I got my pajamas on.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Just a bird. Are you looking for Brent?
Living the dream. We are.
Come on up,
Is
buddy.
he here?
No, he's in line.
Okay.
Is he?
Okay.
Okay. Is there any way you could get a hold of him or have him come back down here? Because I'd like to talk to him again, if that's okay, real quick.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to be real quick. He's in line.
No, I understand that.
Why are you wanting to talk to him again?
Right.
There's just a few more things that we'd like to talk to him about from, Saturday night when we talked. and whatnot.
Gucci, Gucci, goo. Hey, Rocky. Hey, baby.
Okay.
You better come across with something, buddy, because I'm thinking my son's going to jail, and you better straight help me out on this. And I'm damn serious.
Okay. He's not going to jail.
Okay. You sure of that?
No, he's not going to jail.
Okay. Then I'm going to call him.
Yeah. No.
'Cause I'm
Is he
about
gonna
ready
be
to fall
charged
over
with
here.
something?
Do
No.
what?
Is he gonna be charged with something?
No. We're still trying to figure out exactly what's going
We're still
on.
trying to get this figured out, okay?
With no sign of Brent, the officers were left to deal with his increasingly hostile parents who were intent on questioning every step of the investigation.
Because there are some loopholes.
Isn't that their right,
we're
though?
Trying to get those loopholes filled up. That's what we're
They make it
trying
seem like a
to
bad
do.
thing, but that's their right to know.
Okay.
I am
Because
too.
you're working me up. And I know you're not doing this and all this.
How am I working you up, sir?
Because my son is in on this and you're asking more questions about him.
And she's
Wouldn't you
dead.
be concerned about him?
Right.
You wouldn't be concerned about your son? Wouldn't you?
We've been a mess.
I understand that, and that's why we're trying to
Come and
get.
sit down.
That's why we're trying to get
Come on,
everything.
we can sit
figured out.
down here.
When I left down there the other day talking to you, I felt pretty good.
Right.
And then you come back and lay this on me.
Well,
And that fella right there told me the same, give me the same feel.
Right. Well, and when what I tried to explain is all we're trying to do now is, whenever you have a conversation with somebody, you go back and you think, oh gosh, I wish I would ask this question, or I wish I.
You say that when you come in.
Well,
You were secretive, like I gotta talk to him, and I understand that you gotta talk to him, but you gotta understand we're living through this.
Sure, absolutely.
well, I understand
You
that.
got children,
No, I do not.
but you're lucky.
The situation
Buddy, you're
wasn't
lucky.
improving, and the cops' very presence
Ain't that the
seemed to
truth?
be making things worse, with Brent's father on the verge of losing control.
No, we're really all we're trying to do is fill in some gaps. We had some questions.
You got pissing me off.
No, I don't understand why you're upset.
I do. You're acting like you're gonna try and put my son in jail. That's what I'm thinking. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're not. You're wrong. I am not. I have no intention on putting your son in jail, but
I'm scared to death you are.
we have an obligation to figure out what took place as well. And there's a couple more questions that we have for him. And the reason we came here is because this is where he is living. If he wasn't living here, we would go to where he lives.
With the officers making no progress, they decided it was in everyone's best interests to back off and turn their attention elsewhere to search for the answers. The cops would get some of the answers they needed when the autopsy report came back, and the results were much worse than anyone could have expected. Erin had been strangled and had traces of blood in her mouth, suggesting she'd also been punched or struck with an object. So for the first time since 1959, Waynesville police opened a homicide investigation. Armed with this new information and a warrant for Brent's cell phone, the cops once again called on the Williams residence. And although Brent was home this time around, the welcome wasn't any warmer than their previous visits.
Morning. How you doing? Okay, that's wonderful.
Can we for you.
So how you doing this morning? Great. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Is this being recorded?
All conversations I have are recorded. Yeah.
So, okay.
Why weren't we told that?
Because
It's not an obligation to let you guys. No, we're not keeping anything from you guys.
Okay. We're getting legal counsel. Here is William Klug.
Okay.
I'm calling him today.
okay.
Okay.
We don't. We've got his number. We don't need his
Now,
number.
you didn't tell us this is it. I'm done.
You're scaring us.
Yeah, you're scaring us. When I saw his phone, I knew.
Actually, I was checking the time. I was actually checking the time. But
Legal
So,
counsel.
I mean, no, that's fine. You know, this is how we do everything.
You should have told us.
Okay. We're not obligated to let you know. I mean,
Been nice if you would have said that to him.
okay.
just like if you get pulled over on the side of the road, you're being recorded always. The cruiser cam and everything
We're
else. I
getting
mean,
legal counsel. I'll clear this
That's absolutely not a problem.
today.
no problem.
That's not a problem. You should.
I like how that's like a threat.
No, you're not being fair.
Like, lady, that's your
Okay.
fucking
No,
right.
That's fine.
You're not being
You
fair.
want to stay? I'm gonna call Pete real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Why are you calling Pete?
Hey, yes, sir.
Why are you calling Pete?
Calling.
Who you?
I'm calling the other detective.
Why?
He's got some paperwork to give to Brent real quick. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna fill it out with that legal.
No. That's
No, it's not about filling it out.
not a problem. I'll be right back.
You guys are not doing us fair. You're not treating us fair, buddy.
I can't apologize for coming here at 9 at night.
Yeah, but
I
you
really
said,
can't.
he said that this was not, he's not going to arrest my son.
We are
That
not.
could wait till today.
We are not arresting him. Did you have anything else?
One thing's for sure, all four of you has got me scared. All four of you. I'm scared.
Like I said,
I haven't slept.
the only thing we're trying to do is trying to figure out and run every answer, question, anything down that we can to figure out what, because it's not right.
My son's going through his wife's funeral. You guys are putting taking his phone.
What him of all people, at some point, hope would say, you guys did everything you could.
Well,
I know it doesn't seem that way now.
The thing is, we all know in our hearts why that lady died.
Why did she die?
Because she was alcoholic.
Despite the monumental effort to obtain Brent's cell phone, the search came up with nothing incriminating, or any suggestion he was going to kill or even harm Aaron. So the cops focused their attention on Aaron's phone, and the last time it was active. Turns out, Aaron made a phone call on July 5th, and then went quiet. Brent had also told police he had sent Aaron a text message the very same night, but she never replied, and it started to look like that was the night she was killed. But it was when the cops spoke to one of Aaron's friends that they realized they might have found a new suspect, a man named Jimmy. Aaron had met Jimmy for an illicit encounter after she joined an online dating app behind her husband's back.
I was wondering if you could help me out. I actually am coming to you for some help if you don't mind.
Depends.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a name. And you're probably going to think I'm here for another reason, but I'm not here for that reason, okay? So can I give you that name? Aaron McCauley.
There's a very good reason the cops are being very gentle with their suspect, and that's because after he and Aaron slept together, she accused him of assaulting her in an investigation that was still ongoing at the time. The cops could be forgiven for thinking Jimmy is involved and that he may have a motive to kill Aaron, but Jimmy is clear that he didn't assault Aaron at all and hadn't been in touch with her since.
I don't know if you have heard, but she has passed away.
No COD or Overwatch? Nah, both suck ass.
What I would like to know is how you met her. Online? Okay. Do you remember what dating website that was? Plenty of Fish? Okay.
Jimmy had been cooperative and provided a sample of DNA, so even though he was still on the cops' radar, they were confident he wasn't involved in Aaron's murder. This left the investigation back to square one. But just when it looked like the case might stall altogether, the cops received information from someone who had become involved with Brent after Aaron's death. And what she told the cops blew the case wide open. This is Tiffany, and she met Brent after they started chatting on a dating
I haven't done none of that
website.
shit in like over a year, bro.
Last weekend, and I kept telling him how to work.
Okay.
COD's
he kept
just
texting
really
and calling me,
boring.
So I finally got back a hold of him. And then we were just texting.
Check this out, bro. Look at this, Anton. Check this out, buddy. Alright? I have 2,859 hours played for Black Ops 1 on Steam. 2,859 hours. 2,860 hours, let's say. That's why I don't play that shit no more, bro. Plus all the time I played it when I was a kid, like, dude. Kidding me? Marvel Rivals? Nah, it's not my kind of thing, man. So what do I play now? I mean, whatever I feel like playing. You know what I mean? Whatever I feel like playing, bro.
So we met yesterday over at Shawnee Reed Road.
Apex,
He's talking about his wife
this.
dying. I'm
Whatever
like,
I want to play.
okay,
Yeah.
I thought maybe it happened, a while ago. And the more and more talking, so how long did it happen? Oh, it's not been 2 weeks yet. My first reaction is, are you serious? I mean, if my husband died, and I'm a widow, I wouldn't be worried about being on these chat lines and doing this whatever,
Her description of Brent's chilling attitude towards his deceased wife is a major red flag for the cops. But the worst was yet to come, as Tiffany single-handedly helped solve one of Waynesville's most brutal crimes when she revealed Brent's true motive for killing his wife.
But the way he said it was weird as hell.
What did he say?
We were sitting there, and he was talking about, he's got to get this on in his life. I said, we don't have to rush this. Even though I wasn't trying to be, I was just talking.
Yeah,
I said, "We don't
negative
rush this."
20
I said,
earlier.
'cause
It's negative
you
11
need to
right
grieve
now.
for your dead wife. I was just talking. I said, we don't have to rush this. I said, because you need to grieve for your dead wife. I said, most people are.
Rocky's
He
doing
goes,
great,
when I was done, I would grieve. He goes, I didn't even care before she died. I've been okay with this. He's like, I'm ready to move on. And then he's all happy about getting a check in the mail for her death. The way he said it, he was like, weird. He said, well, I'm waiting for a check in the mail. I said, for what? And he said, life insurance. And I said, well, you took one? He's like, yeah, I took one out on her. He's like, I knew she was going to die. I said, well,
Did he say how much?
25,000?
As if cashing in on his wife's life insurance wasn't evidence enough, Brent had taken out the policy only 5 weeks before Aaron's death. Just as things couldn't get any worse for Brent, the DNA evidence cleared Jimmy of any wrongdoing, and this was all the evidence the cops needed to finally make an arrest.
Hey, Con, take it easy. He does go outside and get ready too, all right? What the hell? I don't care what he's got. You're better. I'll tell you something right now, sir. All right, go.
He did not do this. He did not.
Yeah.
Stop this! Come on, put me on your... First of all, you're arresting me when I didn't do nothing wrong. That's fine. Let's go. Let's go to jail.
Brent Williams was charged with Aaron's
Well, let's
murder,
get him. Glad he
and
wants to
his
go to jail,
trial
'cause
took
that's
place
exactly
in
where
the
he
Eau
was gonna
Glaise
go.
County Common Pleas Court. He waived his right to a jury trial, leaving a judge to decide his fate. With the motive of a life insurance payout and DNA evidence, Brent Williams was found guilty of murdering Aaron Mulcahy and sentenced to 15 years to life.
Robinson 01, where's your emergency?
Damn. Good old 16 degrees, eh? Sorry, Rocky. Holy fuck. Edible seaweeds. I'm sorry, Rocky. Eh? Eh? Look at me out here just fucking running amok. Fifth grade teacher impregnated by 12-year-old student? That's crazy work, bro. What the fuck? Hey, strength level 49. Let's go. Dude, what the fuck? He just breaks a hole in the wall? That's crazy. Sha la 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 da da. How much XP an hour? 25k basically an hour? Sheesh. Let's go. We need what? 650,000? Damn. Use the bank real quick, deposit all this shit.
Now look at this. A little gamesmanship here. Davy Johnson just came out of the dugout and confiscated Alex Rodriguez's bat. Ken Griffey Jr. just flipped Rodriguez his bat. Say, here, use mine.
Title and perhaps to an MVP. 2-2 pitch and high in the air and deep to left center field. Anderson back at the wall and it's gone.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. What the fuck?
Are they drinking real beer?
Definitely.
I hope so.
You gotta go
Aren't they-
method with
yeah.
the drinking.
Wait, really? No.
Isn't that what you do?
No.
Can't do that.
No, what are
You
they
can't
drinking?
do it.
What are they
It's
drinking?
not-
Actually, we had to work
Apple
on
cider
that.
Martinelli's?
Special effects was helping at one point, and props, like because there were taps involved, but I think it's apple juice.
Apple juice. There you go.
We had a little bit of carbonation in there at one point. So there was some non-alcoholic beer in one iteration. That might be this too.
Are they drinking real beer?
Definitely.
so.
You gotta go
Aren't they-
method with
yeah.
the drinking.
Wait, really? No.
Isn't that what you do?
No.
Can't do that.
No, what are
You
they
can't
drinking?
do it.
I just finished. What do you think?
The hardest part of living in your car. Living in your car.
I think it's been said before, this house is also within easy walking distance of Jesse Pinkman's old house. You could practically throw a rock from one to the other.
Well, that makes the tour easy, doesn't it?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
maybe there's a little bit of a story tie-in. Maybe Jesse has a really loud party. And
Yeah.
really gets on-
Remember,
really gets on
Jesse
truck.
is 11.
That's true. I remember that.
That's a
He
good
was an early
point.
starter. He started partying very
That's
young.
right. I think it's been said before. I think it's been said before.
That's
this
crazy.
house is also.
Look my nuts. Look at the sand and the seaweed. I'll take it. Congratulations. Hey, my cat leveled up. My cat's a man now. Ba-da-da-ba-ba. 15 minutes till goal. There we go. Close this. I got everything I need right there.
I have a weird situation in my house. I've been with my wife 10 years. You know, living back and forth with them, living back and forth with her parents. And now we own the place. We allowed them to stay in our house until they retire. And this year they retire. And he has other plans of coming back whenever he chooses. We just had another baby and we need that space. And my wife wants to wait. I don't want to piss her off, but at the same time, I need to get them the hell out at the same time. So I don't know which way you would handle it to be the nicest way. It's one of those conversations it must be had, but it's hard to have.
Of course.
Thank you.
So basically, this guy's saying his in-laws have crashed with him for 10 years?
Yeah. No, he's been with his wife for 10 years.
Oh. Living back and forth with her parents.
Yeah.
And now they own the place, and they allow them to stay at their house until they retire. Now, this is interesting. Was it their house that you bought from them?
Yeah.
Because that blurs the lines a little bit here. He might feel entitled to it because it's like, well, we fucking gave you a steal on the thing, and maybe legally you own it. Now,
But they're like, but we're the ones who hung up that piece of art.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's my art now, you twat.
That's right. That's right. Check the fucking
That's
paperwork.
my Montel Jordan hugging Magic Johnson laminated photo that I got from Spencer's Gifts. You might have framed it, but
I picked it out. I had the eye. I knew it would fit over the mantle. And you got a cheap fucking. By the way, if you don't think I know that's the cheapest fucking frame at Michael's, you're out of your mind, bitch. So basically, now the fact that you just had another baby, you need the space. That's something where.
Yeah.
And your wife wants to wait, dude. Like, it's hard because I think the way you do it is talk about the baby and be like, "Hey, man,
I think so.
We had this conversation. Like, this was the plan. Is there anything we can do to help you? Like, what was his plan when they retired?
Right.
You don't want to sound angry. I don't think.
No.
You want to sound like, hey. We really could use the space. Is there something we're all family here? And it sounds like maybe they even did help you out, right? Like, I don't know the specifics, but maybe you do kind of owe them one. Them going back on their word is fucking annoying, don't get me wrong, but you also want to think of this in the grand scheme of your family. You might be legally, technically right, but that's not going to make your life easier. You know what I mean? What, are you going to fucking evict them? You're going to evict your fucking father-in-law? You're not going to do that, right? So they kind of have you by the balls in a weird way. It's annoying, but you have to tread a little lightly. And I don't know. I guess I would get your wife a little more on board. Because if it's you versus your in-laws plus your wife, that's a tough battle. You need your wife aligned with you here, and you need to come up probably first with a plan with your wife, and then as a united front, go to your in-laws, because otherwise he could just, and I hear it in his voice, he's pissed.
Yeah.
He wants to fucking DJ Jazzy Jeff throw him out Fresh Prince style right now. But you can't do that, bro. You have to kind of help them come up with a plan, and it's going to take longer than you like. That's just reality.
Well, in reality, Stavros, is what we all struggle to recognize, but also realize. And I talk about that in my book, We've Got Issues. Scroll up for me again so I can read the top.
Are you okay?
This is Dr. Phil Stavros. Just stick to the script, play along for a minute. Choosing to do a fun little comedy bit.
A stroke.
No, well, my strokes are daytime talk show hosts.
He can't stop.
Some people stroke out and act like Ricky Lake. I act like Dr. Phil McGraw. Check out my Netflix special, Dr. Phil is Unleashed, streaming on Netflix right now.
Check it out. It is good.
Now, look, if you're living with your folks, things aren't going according to plan. Let's start there. Now, you're waiting for them to retire from what? Driving the bus? Working for Delta Airlines? Do they make the applesauce at Panera? Either way, you're living with a couple of deadbeats, okay? And I know they're your wife's parents. I know she lived in his jizz at some point, right? We all did. We all lived in jizz.
Right.
Even the guy who wrote Jungle to Jungle came from jizz.
Yes.
But what I think the main move and the main idea here is you got another baby coming, and that's too many. You can overstay your welcome. And it's time for the parents to recognize that it's baby's day out and it's daddy's day in. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So Rick Moranis shrunk his kids on accident. Ooh. I think this guy would love to shrunk the in-laws on purpose and put them inside of a used condom and leave them underneath the bed at a La Quinta in Rancho Cucamonga. We'll be right back. Best of luck to you.
Good luck.
That's a crazy impression. What the fuck, dude? Holy shit. That's fucked.
This is Christopher Swalwell, and he loves playing Mario. Sometimes he will play with his roommate, David. However, this time Chris played with David, he wouldn't walk out of there alive. Because this very game would be the reason David would stab Christopher over.
That's crazy where you can stab someone over a game of Mario. I want to be fucking Mario, not Luigi.
could she not know what's happening? How could she think this is fake? How does she not know she's starving? How does she not see that he's wasting away? And you here, you're telling me that you've got some mental health issues, but you graduated from high school, and it's very obvious to you that he's got malnutrition, right? It's very obvious to you. But your mom here's not seeing that, and she's a law school graduate, and she's very smart. Do you see what I'm looking at here? She's a liar. She's lied to you about so much stuff. That's
Well, buckle in, boys. We got a long one here.
You need to stand up for yourself and realize she's the manipulator, she's the liar, she put you in this spot, she did this to your brother, using you. Do you not see that? That she used you to do this to your brother. Your mother used you.
But you say no?
When delving into the case of Shonda Vander Ark, one word could be used best to describe the overall nature of this case: disturbing. When taking a closer look at Shonda's actions, her behavior suggests a profound lack of empathy, manipulative tendencies, a need.
I'll be back, boys. I'll be back. Ugh. Yeah. E-strength. All right, boys. Well, I think I'm gonna bounce. Appreciate y'all for chilling. Peace, boys.